Hello and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian and I'm joined by Dylan.
The third.
Wait, there's more than one of you?
Are you kidding me?
Have I been?
Of course there is.
Have I been wrong this whole time?
How many Dylans do you think you've met in your lifetime?
That's a great question. At
Wrong.
least two.
You've only met one that matters.
Oh. Why, I feel
It's
like
not me.
Not about that. Yeah, so we got another gruesome twosome.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan, keep Ethan in your thoughts and prayers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send him some medicine.
Send him some good vibes and some what is it?
some
NyQuil.
Right. Perhaps a bit of Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah. He's been feeling kind of sick recently. I was wanting to get him on one of these episodes, but he's not doing so good right now.
Yeah.
I think he's just got some like regular sickness stuff. He's not like in the hospital or anything for
Right.
any of those who are potentially concerned.
Right. Nothing serious, thankfully.
Exactly. But anyways, this week we sat down. Oh man, before we get really into this one, last week I went to a conference for like work reasons, and it was both fun and very busy.
Yeah.
They had me like jam packed, dude. It was like I had to like wake up like pretty early, like earlier than I normally do.
Right.
By at least an hour or so. Had to be out the house before like 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and then would go basically until almost 10 p.m. Like would come back to my my room and just go like, I want to do something else, but I'm too tired. I can't. I would lay down and fall asleep and then repeat for like the better part of I think probably 3-4 days. Yeah. But just know that again, it was so much fun though, because it was also a really good event. But I told you today, I was like, I haven't gotten back in my routine yet.
Yeah.
So I
just got to readjust.
Yeah. Today is our regular recording day.
Mm-hmm.
And it just slipped my mind. I was like, oh, we gotta do a thing, because
Right.
I don't know where I'm at anymore.
I forgot about that thing that I do.
Yeah. That thing I really enjoy doing every now and then. So that's kind of been where my head's at. It's just been, it feels like a roller coaster, and I haven't had a chance to really like recoup.
Well, don't worry, Ian.
Yeah.
We're here.
Right.
With your daily dose of
yes.
normalcy.
Right.
Getting back into the swing of things at, what time is it?
You said something very apt.
It's only like 1:45 a.m.
Right.
We're more used to like 2:30.
I mean, we usually will. I think it's between midnight. Oh no, wait, we can't say this.
No,
we can't say this.
They have to guess.
You have to guess.
Otherwise,
you already.
It's no fucking cake for you.
Yeah, you already gave up this episode, so this is a
That's
benchmark.
fine. We'll make an exception.
But we were walking down the hallway, and Dylan said,
"It just won't be a chocolate cake this time."
Right. Dylan said, "Don't worry, this is standard business hours for us."
That's how it's worked.
You're not wrong.
Most of our episodes.
Yeah, that's exactly how it has worked.
Whether on purpose or not.
Right.
Usually not on purpose.
Yeah. So anyways, like I said, I just was wanted to catch you up on what's going on, because it has been a crazy past couple of days for me, but I'm glad that we're back here and we're rocking and rolling.
Yes. I've enjoyed speaking at nothing.
Right. But this episode, I'm actually surprised.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know that we were going to watch this tonight.
It was a bit of a bait and switch.
A little bit.
Something else. But
what is that logo again for?
It's the Toho Film Company logo.
Okay. Every time I see the Toho Film Company logo, I think Godzilla.
Right. That's the only thing that ever comes to mind for me.
Of course. And it's not like there's like a new version of it, you know? Where it's like you see like the old
like grainy version of it.
Right. Or I'm just thinking films. Like you don't look at like insert name brand product here,
right.
And then you have like from the 90s, and then you have the newer version of the logo like today, and you're like, oh, this is like a relevant iteration of this brand.
Right.
Every time I see the Toho Film Company logo, it is
consistent.
It is the same logo from like the 60s and 70s, it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Hey, they got it and it works. But again, I look at it, I'm like, oh, we're going to watch a classic Godzilla movie. Lo and behold, that was not that.
Oh, no.
But it was, I would say, better in some ways.
Yeah.
Because, man, the animation for this,
it's gorgeous.
I can say hands down, I don't think I've ever seen an animated movie that good looking.
Really?
I mean, I've watched...
It's pretty up there.
I've watched, like, some of the recent Disney movies, and I've been like, that's very impressive.
Right.
I can say single-handedly that I've watched Encanto, and the one thing that I was impressed by out of the entire movie is the fabric looked real, and the hair looked real. Like, both aspects, like, I would be watching the movie in the middle of a high-stakes environment, or like something's going on, or I say, it's Encanto.
Right.
There's something big is happening, and I would look at it and go, the detail of the hair looks amazing. I'm not really caring about plot or about, story or whatever, or the music, but I'm like the texture of that shirt looks like a real shirt.
Right.
That is the same thing for this movie.
Gotta give props.
But may I say, I do not know a lot about Lupin the Third.
Right. This was, it wasn't your first exposure to it, but it was the first like full length film
experience
of the series that you've watched.
So I have not. I know of it, and you have shown me compilations of like funny
clips
funny
from
clips
the old show.
From the original show, or excuse me, from the original iterations of the show.
Right.
And so I know generally how the characters look.
Right.
I may not know their names, but I'm like, oh, that's samurai sword guy.
Right.
Oh, that's angry cop that follows them around. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's hard to put into words how the animation of the film is on such a higher level of fidelity than I was assuming it would be.
Yeah.
But it also stayed true to how the characters looked in the anime.
Oh yes.
Which is like,
it's perfection.
Trying just it's hard to say. But it's almost like you recreate a lot like a real person. For instance, Death Stranding. What was the guy's name?
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. It's like you take Norman Reedus, a real life man, and then you put him in a video game, and you're like,
that's just Norman Reedus.
That's just Norman Reedus.
Right.
But in a video game, it felt like that in a different medium, and it was so interesting. I know what these 2D anime characters are supposed to look like.
Yeah, that is a stylistically accurate 3D Lupin. Exactly.
And it hits the nail on the head, because he's also kind of a comedic, goofy character sometimes, but he doesn't. He looks kind of goofy, but not like in a weird like fourth wall breaking way or anything. Right. And then the same thing, like with the textures of fabric and stuff and the world around him. Yeah. I'm like looking at his leather jacket going, that looks like a real leather jacket.
Right.
And it's like, this is kind of nuts. I mean, it doesn't move, or I mean, he's obviously like like a wiry framed character, but like you're looking at like aspects of this going like, man, this is...
He's just wearing real fucking clothes.
This is impressive. So that is like the first thing off the top. We didn't even get like a few minutes into this film, and I was like, this is a beautiful film.
Oh yes.
This is very well made. But yeah, that and then I, you know me, we can't get into this movie and not talk about the music.
Oh, of course. Dude,
I mean,
it's
obviously,
the fucking best.
Obviously, the show had great music as well, and it has the
timeless.
The feel of this, character, of this vibe is like this. It almost has like how would you describe that genre? Because it feels like a old buddy cop, like what it would feel like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like you have like this like brass like music,
Yeah.
and it's like set in this like, what was it, like the 60s or
couple like a decade give or take after World War II.
right. Even like the show, I remember seeing aspects of the show were kind of like that, where it has like this sort of like
globe-trotting thievery adventures.
right, but it fits its way into this sort of, I don't know what you call that. It's like it's like Americana. Is it like this sort of genre of like action hero action adventure from like the 50s and 60s kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Like I said, from the track alone, you hear the music and you're like, I have seen a movie or television show that has this vibe.
Right.
And it just kind of gives that sort of like, I don't know. It's like I said, it's hard to describe.
Yeah.
But with the sweeping brass and this kind of like big band jazz feel to it, it's so nice.
Oh yeah.
And it really does. It kind of carries throughout. I'll never forget the first time you introduced me to one of the songs.
Yeah.
And I got such a kick out of it.
You're thinking of a superhero.
Yes, I am. Can I just look up the lyrics of that for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I just remember.
Did you notice they played like an instrumental version of
yes,
it? Okay,
yes.
good.
What is it
you
called?
Might catch that. I think it should just be superhero.
Superhero Lupin the Third. I'm curious.
Yeah, it's definitely got some funny lyrics to it.
But the way that it's it just kind of feels a little arrogant whenever you think about it. But
I would describe it as sort of like a groovy James Bond.
Right. I guess James Bond is kind of the feel, but it obviously,
especially with that intro.
Yeah, but again, they're well dressed. They're obviously thieves,
right?
So I get kind of
not secret agents per se,
right? The overall story is that he is a gentleman thief,
right?
And that's basically it. Gets into shenanigans, does things, and is kind of what is that archetype? The kind of the
like a bumble king.
Yeah, just a little bit in some capacity. A little bit of a bumble king can just like fumble his way through like surviving. A
lucky Ted, if you will.
Right. It has that kind of aspect about it.
Oh yeah.
But I think I loved his character a lot. And then who was the guy with the hat? Jigen?
Yes.
I liked his character a lot too.
Yeah, dude.
He feels like I would want a film noir show of him.
Yeah.
Like a kind of a goofy aspect of him where he's just kind of, constantly smoking a cigarette, being smug about something. I love that.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. I can't really find what I was talking about for the lyrics, but just know it's funny.
It's a funny song. Look it up.
It's a funny song because he basically talking about how I'm a superhero.
I'm such a cool guy.
Everybody
wants to be like me.
I know. It's just that.
It's hilarious.
Yes, and it almost feels like the more you listen to it, it's like this is like my hype song.
Right.
Yeah. So
theme of hero.
Right. This movie in particular, like I said before, I haven't watched anything else from in the Lupin the Third world.
This is his starting point.
Yes, I stumbled across some. I guess I think I stumbled across the movie we just watched in the collection. You're like, oh, trust me, buddy. There's a deep dive, and I was like,
yeah.
oh, really? Okay,
yes,
so
indeed.
And then that's when I think you showed me the superhero song, and you showed me the funny clips because it's obviously. When did the anime originally come out, or do you know?
Oh gosh,
I'd imagine like the 70s or whatever, or something like that, or at least probably before that.
I think it was around 60s.
So it's
they
like
first like animated bits of it, but I don't know for sure.
I believe from some of the fun facts I see, it was a manga, then turned into an anime.
Right.
And it was like one of the first kind of iterations of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking like
Old school.
classic here.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can imagine, obviously, there are some hilarious moments in classic anime.
Of course.
Even just in random shows.
Mm-hmm. The dub especially is stellar.
But yeah, so this movie, I think, even though I know nothing about the series as a whole,
I think it does a good enough job
Oh.
establishing everything for
oh yeah, I mean, I kind of know a little bit how the show kind of works, I believe. I was already kind of interested in seeing how some of the older, like really classic episodes would work, but now seeing this, it's like
it felt like an extended episode of the show for me.
really,
Yeah.
that's good. That makes me feel good
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of feels like it's not a series that I'm familiar with
Mm-hmm.
or that I know a whole lot about, but it looks like people that are fans of it would love this.
Oh, yeah.
And you know
Definitely.
what I mean? It's like you may not be a big fan of like a Star Wars movie
Mm-hmm.
or the Star Wars franchise, but when The Mandalorian came out and you watched it, it kind of had that feeling of
good shit.
is that even though I have no idea what's going on, this looks like a well-made show,
Mhm.
and people who are into this are like into this.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it felt like for me. It's like I'm watching
That's
this.
good.
I'm watching this and like not really. I don't have any super big connections to any of the characters besides I know them at face value, and they're all kind of funny in their own different quirky way.
Right.
But I watched this going, man, anybody that probably loves this show is like digging the hell out of this
Yeah.
right now because I'm like, this is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the movie did a great job too of like even like not really. I get. Let me preface with this first.
Mm-hmm.
Is I like the fact that I'm assuming that what was the lady's name? Letitia. Yeah, or whatever her name is. Is that it seemed like if she was an old character, they kind of like reintroduced her in some way, and if she wasn't an old character, she's a new character that kind of helps wedge her way in, and I thought that was a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think they did a bad job with her.
Right, because but I'm saying that like I think they did a good job with her because of that, but they did a good job with the rest of the cast because of that. Because there's aspects of the characters that you get to see in conversation between that new character to where like, so for me, not knowing anything about certain characters, you get to see that kind of who is this person and what is their shtick.
Yeah.
Without having to sit here and go like, oh yeah, I'm the samurai sword guy and I'm, kind of angsty.
They don't waste any time expositing on any of the characters because anyone who's going to watch this movie is probably already well.
But for people that may not know, there is a character that is kind of like that gateway into, you are kind of in that position of like there is an established group, and you're like kind of going back and forth between, because I would almost wager that yes, Lupin is our main character, but like the story is almost focused around I really
Letitia.
forgot. I don't think it's Letitia. Let me hold on. Let's see.
I said Letitia.
Oh gosh, hold on. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm typing stuff in.
I mean, that's okay.
I guess you're right. I guess that is what it is.
Yeah,
I just
that's what
thought
they said.
Okay. I just thought that it was like, I guess it's because we watched it in Japanese and they said something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Regardless, it focuses around Letitia, and so you get to understand the better overarching story through her lens.
Yeah, because we don't start with Lupin. In this film.
Right. Which I think again is also very interesting as well. So she kind of feels like the main character, the more like once you really get into the film, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel bad at
Right.
all.
It
because-
doesn't drain on the film at all.
Right. Yeah. It was a wild ride.
It was a good movie.
It was like a really good movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoyed it. Is there any favorite moments in this movie for you that you like the most?
Any scene involving Zenigata has got to be my favorite.
He was the police officer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Interpol agent.
Oh, man. He is a handful.
Yeah.
I love his aesthetic, though. Like, his attire is where it's at. Nice.
An old school gumshoe.
Yes. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
The fedora and trench coat.
He doesn't act like one.
No. Definitely
No, he
not.
is rabid
Yeah.
in his pursuit of this famous thief.
Yeah, he definitely fits that like Eggman aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn you!
Right. Shakes fist.
Right. I'll get you next time.
Mhm.
That kind of vibe.
Oh yeah.
But I love that though. I'm trying to think. There's just so many
There's a
things.
few, yeah.
There's a few really good moments.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the whole like exploration of the cave
Oh yeah.
whenever they start to like really
The 3 different trials.
yeah. Once
was a
we
good
like
one.
get into that whole the basics of this movie is that they're trying to find this thing called the eclipse,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Supposedly a huge treasure or a
Right.
weapon,
right,
source of infinite power.
yeah, a whole all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually surprised that they took a real heavy Nazi turn.
Oh yeah.
I mean, again, obviously,
I mean, it makes sense for the time frame.
You're right.
It starts like at the end of World War II, and then after a little time skip where most of the movie takes place, so
Yeah.
like a decade after.
Right.
And they're still just kind of squatting around.
Right. What? Which is probably accurate.
Right.
But it definitely felt like Hellboy,
Oh,
like
yeah.
where it's like I didn't
Definitely.
know I didn't know there was going to be like
They
this.
took the whole Nazis being into the occult angle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, which is again an interesting angle, and it's
Mhm.
kind of fun and
Yeah.
weird. But originally, I didn't know that like suit guy,
Mhm.
the Scarface suit guy. I didn't know he was like a Nazi guy.
Oh yeah.
So I thought he was just like an investor or something, or some sort of like
Oh,
big.
yeah.
And then as the movie was progressing, and he kind of feel like he was like heavy-handed with like his
Oh, yeah.
decision making and stuff. I was like, "Who are you? You're just the suit guy." Like,
Right.
and then as the movie,
Like, were you supposed to be important?
yeah, because I thought that our little crotchety old
the geezer.
the science geezer, the bad guy grandpa
Mm-hmm.
was gonna be like our guy, and anyways. So, but I'm trying to think what was. I also liked the angle on, is it Letitia? Letitia?
Yes.
I liked her angle on her being part of the bad guys
Mhm.
and then like working her way around being part of the good guys,
Right.
quote unquote good guys, because she still
Yeah.
doesn't want to be a thief. So her like
She ends up working with them
right,
anyway.
her moral compass is I don't want to have the title like thief on my
Right.
on my permanent record.
Now, think about this lady.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a thief or a Nazi collaborator?
Yeah, that's a real hard decision.
Yeah.
Please note the sarcasm in my voice.
Right. We're doing air quotes
Yeah,
as we
yeah,
say
yeah.
this, ladies
I'm
and
doing the hardest air quotes. Yeah. But,
Oh, man.
But anyways, so but I'd still like it. There was only some aspects I thought were a little awkward
Oh, yeah.
because of that, the motivation of characters. How they really hammered home the like wanting to go to school for archaeology,
Right.
like letter of acceptance or a recommendation or whatever it is.
Mm.
almost where it almost felt a little unbelievable in certain
really?
aspects. Like, well, they finally have the eclipse in their hand, and he's like really lording it over her, like, I need the book, and she's holding on to it, and it kind of like there's like a little. It just kind of felt a little strange how he's like, you'll never get into school, and she's like, no, and like she like falls to her knees or gets pushed around or whatever, and like try a little harder to hide the book. Yeah. And he just like nabs out of her hand, and she's like, stop it. And I'm like, oh, what are you like? Get him and do something. Yeah. So it's only like a little bit kind of feels a little weird, but I think it's just because I may not be like understanding the full scope of the scene. But there are also moments of this that are good callbacks. Like we've said before, I don't know what the rule's called. I need to find the rule and like actually.
Chekhov's gun?
Yeah, Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
And but it happens in this film as well, and again in other
Chekhov's
aspects
gravity orb,
right? Gravity orb. He even says it too. Like, and I know it felt like what is
it's a surprise tool that
will
help us later.
Right. What is that from?
That's I think it's from fucking.
It's a surprise tool that will help us later.
I don't remember exactly what. I always remember Ethan saying it.
Yeah, it's an old classic video game trope,
right?
Where you get given a weird thing and it's like, this is a surprise tool.
It's like the Zelda thing of you get an item in this dungeon,
right?
And you're going to be using it almost exclusively throughout the rest of this dungeon.
Exactly. Or here, take this. You'll need that. Right. It's dangerous out there. And you get given a sword, and it's like, I see what's going on here.
Okay, I have to kill things.
Right. He picks up, or he gets to play around with this gravity orb for a second, flies around the room, and then he ends up like putting one where it's supposed to go to unlock like this passageway, and then he ends up nabbing another one without any consequences. And then he pockets it and goes,
this will come in handy.
This will come in handy later. Right. And you're like, oh man.
Like, awesome.
All we need is a text prompt.
I can't wait until he caves someone's skull in with that thing.
Right. Tri-finger butthole.
Oh no.
Is that what the Elden Ring thing is?
It's one of the long-running from soft messages that you'll find in like every game.
Really?
At least once, yes.
Wow, how interesting.
That's been around since Demon Souls, maybe.
Oh man. OG there. But yeah, that, or what was the other one? Beware of dog.
Dog?
Yeah. Question mark? Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. This was a really fun movie to watch.
Oh, yeah.
It was nice and entertaining and lighthearted.
Everything a good movie ought to be.
Right. They kind of did like a little subtle romance that ended up not really panning out at the end, and it was kind of like a little.
Ain't nobody can have a man.
Right.
Except Fujiko.
Is that the girl?
The femme fatale. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Mm-hmm. She's the only one that can actually get her hands on him?
I mean, she's the only one that could
lock him down,
seduce him in that manner.
I see.
Like, he's only got eyes for her.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like his backstory kind of.
Right.
Interesting. Well, I pulled up, speaking of like his backstory, this is not this movie specifically. This is Lupin the Third, I think, overall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Originally, I think he was drawn a lot differently. The influences in creating Lupin the Third, the obvious one is Maurice Leblanc's infamous gentleman thief,
Arsène Lupin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then what was another classic French tale, of Three Musketeers?
Mm-hmm.
How interesting. Supposedly they had, where was this? I saw another one. Hold on. I saw one that was like really, here we go, let's see.
Lance is waiting with bated breath.
I know, I'm trying. Right here. It says.
What does it say?
He is accidentally responsible for Inspector Gadget's creation.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I can't really, with some of these, I can't really go into some details, but supposedly that's kind of
dude.
Yeah.
That sounds like amazing.
That's actually really
funny. What the fuck?
What a fun. At least I can't pull up. This is what I was trying to do.
Accidentally.
Accidentally being. Let's see. Here we go. Can I find the? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here's a wild story. In 1982, TMS Entertainment, the company behind the Lupin anime, tried teaming up with American cartoon studio DIC, who would Dick, who would later bring Sailor Moon to the States.
Oh my God!
To create a Lupin the Third spinoff. It would have been called Lupin the Eighth.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but not like
it's supposed to be like
the Roman
a
numerals.
futuristic.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God, dude!
It says following Lupin's descendants in the far future.
Oh my God! That is fucking insane.
Aimed at a younger audience. The LeBlanc estate stepped in over copyright issues again, and the project fell through. But DIC needed something to come out of the deal, and because they invested too much into the project already, and so they created Inspector Gadget.
Oh my God!
Doing the original animation style like this.
That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So
my God!
Attributed to
distant
that.
relatives they are.
Exactly. The manga and anime versions of Lupin were way different.
Oh,
apparently, yeah. It says that while most anime fans know Lupin as the scoundrel with a heart of gold, his original manga personality was more adult, quote unquote. It says, in Monkey Punch's manga, Lupin shamelessly hits on and harasses women.
Oh no!
And was far more callous about the victims of his theft. In short, a bigger crook.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was definitely...
Not only would he steal, but he would steal and say, fuck you.
Yeah. He would steal and say, I don't give a shit about you.
Good Lord.
He originally had long hair, supposedly. He said Lupin's hairdo was supposedly supposed to be like a long-haired look for him. Is another one.
Oh, that's insane.
Did you know that he is also afraid of octopuses?
See, I didn't know that.
Lupin III is a man who willingly throws himself into a lot of dangerous situations thanks to careful scheming. Nothing much seems to make him afraid except for one thing, octopi.
A crippling phobia.
Exactly. I mean, I don't blame him. They're not something I want to handle.
Oh, but they're so cool.
Oh, they're cool. But like I said, that's why I use the word handle.
Right.
Because if they're going to be
if I got to touch one.
If I got to touch one, they're going to be stuck.
I'd rather be wearing gloves.
Right. Thanks, but no thanks. It's not referred to often, and it's never explained why, but Lupin's fear of octopi goes back a long way in his character history. Yeah.
Jeez.
It says his fear was first established in Lupin the Third's anime second episode. I can't speak right now. Jeez.
It's not a bad. That's a bad trait to have if you're running a podcast.
Right.
Buddy.
You're right. Maybe I should fix that.
Okay, it's only 2:16. We can do this.
Oh man! Oh, wow! I knew it. Oh, you quit giving away our time. Quit calling us out, man.
I've already said this one's gonna be an exception.
That's okay.
I gotta excuse this somehow.
I see how this is. It says, and it has come up a few times since. Oddly, he seems to have no trouble with squids. It's just octopi.
Wow.
So I think
only them in particular.
I think he's just particular. He's a weird guy. There are some aspects of the character that are real life depictions.
Mm-hmm.
While some anime and manga characters make do with like fictional equipment and stuff, Lupin is not among them in some characteristics. All of these accoutrements, there are things that are like actual real world items that they put in the anime.
Right.
One of them being his yellow 1957 Fiat 500.
Of course.
And that is exactly what it is. And it was in this movie we watched as well, which is actually very interesting.
Got blowed up.
Yes, unfortunately. and even like it lists the first episode. You see that that yellow car, but that is a real world item. Another one is his favored gun is a Walther P38. Though why he favors it is unknown, but even his cigarettes also have a real brand, which is
wow.
Gitans, I think I don't. It's a French name, so it's probably like
Gitan.
Gitan, yeah, or whatever. Which is because it says it is a French import.
Oh wow.
And it actually says in one of the episodes it backfires on him. What is the police officer's name?
Zenigata.
Zenigata. It says that in one of the episodes, Zenigata was able to use the smokes to track down Lupin. Notably,
That's
all
where
these
addiction
items
gets you, folks.
Exactly. So he,
Interpol's coming for you.
right, gotcha, buddy. His name is never pronounced correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Obviously, everyone looks at it and they say Lupin,
Right.
Because it is Lupin. But it basically says how we've been saying it.
Yes.
It is
Lupin.
Yeah. The actual French pronunciation is Lieu, Liu, and then Phegn, and the N is barely pronounced. So Pon. Lupin is like how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Right.
And they said that's what you get for translating a French name into Japanese and then back into English.
Yeah.
So you can imagine it gets kind of messy.
Yeah.
And of course, he also, as you said before, he has a first name, but no one ever actually calls him by his first name.
Right.
A little fun fact: his last name is Lupin.
Quite the character.
Exactly. So,
I'm hesitant to take a romp through the rest of his films because there are a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. He's had a ton of movies.
This movie set itself up, at least at the end, to really feel like they want to make more of these.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, this
I would
movie,
hope so.
This movie came. I mean, I'm not. Trust me when my tone is not saying
Right.
that they shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
This movie came out in 2019, and I did not know that.
God, that was longer ago than I was expecting.
Yeah, we're approaching 3 years. At the end, it says like a quote from 2017 is like, "I want to bring Lupin on more adventures around the world."
Yeah.
Which is cool. So, and again,
Please, by all means.
yeah, do. And it also makes me think they want to do more because this one's called Lupin the Third, the First. So, a little speculation.
Yeah. Hopefully we might get the second and then the third.
Lupin the Third. Lupin 3, the third 3.
33.
3. Yeah. So, what a fun time.
Definitely look into the series if you haven't already.
It's just fun.
Oh yeah.
What are some of the videos you should look up? Is it Lupin out of context? Is that what?
Yeah, that'd be the one.
Right.
I think.
Lupin the Third, English
Anything,
dub.
Anything from the dub, you have to make sure it's the dub.
English dub.
Otherwise, it's not going to
out
be
of
as
context. It's some funny stuff. What are some of the things like that get shouted out?
Oh God,
I can't remember any right now, but
most of them are just noises, or just like static shots of characters doing something or nothing, and it's just the funniest shit for no reason.
Oh, right. I love that. Is there anything else you want to add to this this episode? Anything you want to add to this wonderful movie?
Man, you fucking watch it.
Just go do it.
Go find a copy if you can, or order it. If you don't, I mean, you're missing out.
Right. Was there anything else that happened this past week for you that you want to talk about?
Oh, Jesus.
I have a story I want to tell, and I was saving for the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing I can think of.
Okay, so hear me out.
Mm-hmm. You laugh.
Oh man, I bought some new luggage. Mm-hmm. I bought some new bags because again, I'm gonna be going to Disney at like I think sometime in September.
Got a rendezvous with that fucking mouse.
Yeah, gotta pay him his dues.
Right.
Before he cuts me off.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna go. I'm planning a trip to Disney in September. I had this conference to go on, and I was also thinking I want to travel some more. Now that the pandemic is getting to a point where I feel more comfortable to travel than I did for the past 2 years, I'm thinking, hey,
why not?
I know the protocol. I'm all safe. Everything's good. I'm an upstanding citizen. I'm a nice guy.
Right.
I'm a guy.
Unassuming.
I'm a dude.
Average.
You know? So anyways, I was like, I want to travel more. And I've been looking at these bags for a while. But again, you know those purchases where you're like, I want this, but do I need this?
Right.
Especially because it's probably a couple $100 or, right around $100 and something. Right. And you're like, do I need to spend that kind of money right now?
The fiscal responsibility talking.
Exactly. I'm sitting here going, again, especially because I haven't traveled at all in the past 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that I'm looking at new fancy bags, I'm like, of all the things I need to spend.
Already planning a trip. Right. Do I really want to capitalize on it that much?
Exactly. And so I had this opportunity where I'm planning this vacation in a few months. I'm going on this conference. I may go somewhere else. And I was like, okay, this is the year. This is the time where I can justify spending money on some new bags and really breaking them in and having some fun with them.
Right.
So I did. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and treat myself. I bought them and I was like, okay, it says 3 to 5 business days.
Right.
And I thought that it was going to be coming in, of course, like before the weekend happened, and it didn't. Oh. And I was like, oh man, okay, not the end of the world, not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But I told myself over the weekend, I think I even cracked a joke with you once or twice.
You definitely mentioned it before you left.
Because I was like, I'm supposed to go on this trip on a Tuesday afternoon. And I was like, please just come in like Monday night or Tuesday morning. And then they said it was supposed to come in Tuesday. And I was like, oh, okay, just please come in Tuesday morning. That's all I want. I just want this. I bought these new bags, and I thought they were going to be here in time before, but apparently I was not
of sound mind.
Oh man, I didn't guess it. I didn't jump on it soon enough. Over. So it's getting down to the wire where like I haven't packed yet, and I'm supposed to like be departing for the airport like in less than 24 hours.
Right.
And I'm like, oh man, I gotta pack now.
Yeah.
And I was like, please. And then I went to go check. It was a Monday, and I was like, they're supposed to show up Tuesday. Hopefully they'll show up Tuesday morning, and it'll be totally fine.
The anticipation goblin.
The one thing I didn't want to happen was for me to get on the plane and to go fly out there
and get a notification
and
like, hey, your bags are here.
Hey, your bags are here.
Where are you?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, it is a Monday. I'm packing my bags because, again, I'm running down to the wire. I'm like, I have stuff that I can use. It's totally fine. I just wanted to use the new stuff. I check the notification. It says, oh, yeah, it's going to be showing up on Wednesday now. And I'm like, oh, okay, I definitely got it. I just got a full send now because, again, there's no going back. That's too far along. Mm-hmm. And then, lo and behold, I'm on the plane flying out of our local city going to my layover or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I get the notification saying, like, we delivered your package. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
What the fuck? Why?
I was like, come on, dude. Damn. So that was my fun little...
Why'd you do that?
Right. That was my fun little story I had. That, oh, dude, I was so frustrated because I was like, man, it'd be one thing if it was like...
Why didn't you just fucking wait?
It was okay. Like I said, I had purchased it, I want to say the previous Monday. So it was like over a week. Right. So I was like, 3 to 5 business days, it'll show up.
Right.
Nope. But anyways, that was a little fun escapade. But
right.
It's good to be back home. I just got to get back in my routine. Oof.
Yeah.
It's been wild.
You nearly lost the ability to speak.
See, look at him. Dude, just sitting here doing this podcast feels like it's we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it always feels like a while since we've done this every time we do it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I was trying to unpack what you said and made sure. Yeah. I was a little confused by.
I always get that feeling.
Yeah. No, it was just like I think it was just how you said it. Mm-hmm. I can't even replicate it. The way
it always feels like it's been a while every time we do this.
Right. Anyways, I'm sorry. I just
that's okay.
I feel like I was going to try to unpack it. It just sounded like you repeated the same thing 3 times. That's what it felt like. It always feels like a long time since we did the last time. Whenever we did it the last time, and and it always feels like that. It's a long time.
Buddy, I think the hour is getting to you.
Is he like, you know what I mean?
We
like
gotta
that's
get you to
like
bed, man.
I did. I said that. I said that. What it felt like hearing it. You know what I mean?
He's hearing things now.
Is that you said it pretty clearly, but whenever I heard it, I was like, did you just say the same thing 3 times?
All right, folks, that's going to be a wrap.
Oh, man, yeah. It is time to go to bed.
Gotta retire this man.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it.
See if you can get the links out.
Yes. If you're trying to find us and you want to listen to us, we should be on all the major podcasting platforms. You can just type in The Aftermath, and you should be able to find us there. If you're looking to get some of our links, you can type in Linktree/Ian Wolf, and you can find all the different ways to get in touch with us or to listen to us on all the different platforms. If you can, leave us a 5-star review. That'd be pretty sick. We'd really appreciate it.
Right, something's still working up there. There we go.
Yeah, that's actually like a default. I just like I turn my brain off, and then I just.
That was actually a pre-recorded message.
Right.
Play that at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
It's gotten to be such a chore to say.
Nah, not a chore. Anyways, until next time, thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye-bye.